Yeah, what's up, creatives? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is very important for everybody to know because we all like to have fire photo edits, right? So with that being said, we're going to talk about how to crush your photos using Lightroom presets, and even if you shot it in the wrong white balance or something, how you can tweak a Lightroom preset to get it where you want it if you like the way it looks, the style of it. So let's get into it. So using Lightroom presets is cool. I make Lightroom presets of my own all the time because I take a ton of different photos. And when I take different photos, they're always in different scenarios. Sometimes I'll just be coloring and I'll make something that I truly love and I have to save it as a preset and try it on other photos later. We're gonna talk about 3 reasons why I think that using presets is important for even beginners and even some professionals. But by all means, it's very creative and unique to color your photos the way that you see them and the way that you feel it should be done. But like I said, I got 3 reasons why I think that you should be using Lightroom presets, or anybody, I don't know, me. The first reason obviously is because you can develop an aesthetic. So if you make a color that you really like and you want like your, let's say your Instagram feed or your YouTube thumbnail feed or any type of feed, something, maybe your portfolio, if you just want everything to look really cohesive and really good, making a color that you really like and saving it as a preset and continuing to use it all the time is really cool for having that cohesive look. You develop an aesthetic. People can recognize your work and the colors that you are putting on your photos, so they know like, oh, I know who took that. Creative Ryan took that one. I know you used the CR preset. Shameless plug. And on the flip side of that, you could even buy presets from somebody else and find one that you like out of their pack, or if they just sell one, whatever, you can buy one from another artist that you look up to and value, because other creators do make their own presets because they have a way that they see it, a way that they color it, a way that they like it, and other people like that. So it's not bad if you use a preset from somebody else, another creator, especially if you really like their style and you don't know how to achieve it. That kind of leads me into the next reason. Some creators, especially beginners, just don't see color and contrast the same as like a professional would. They may not see the oranges changing. They may just see them as they are in the sky, or you know, they may not see blues taken out of the sky. They may just think, oh, well, I gotta saturate the blue because the sky's blue. They may not even think, it may not register or click that you could take the blues out of that photo, desaturate it, and give it a whole different dynamic, whole different look. So when you see somebody else that does do that type of style, you may fall in love with it and want to buy into that preset and use that all the time because you didn't even think of it, and maybe you don't know how to achieve that exact look that they're getting. That kind of leads me into the 3rd reason. Some people just don't understand what tools inside of Lightroom do what. So you can't really make that color, you can't really make that preset, that look for yourself because you don't know how to achieve it, or not you, but just people in general. Creators, some professionals, they may not know how to create a look that other people are doing that they really want to get. So those are just 3 reasons why I think that presets are good to use. With that being said, I just dropped a new preset pack. I basically made them on mirrorless cameras and Canon systems at that. So it's Canon R, Canon R5, Canon R6. So I've actually been using them today to color a couple photos that I shot on a 1DX a couple months back in LA. So we're gonna hop on the computer. I'm gonna show you just how I use some of those presets and then how you can tweak them with the exposure and the temperature to get them where you want them to be. Sometimes it's not gonna be a one and done and it looks exactly like the example photo that comes in that preset pack. Sometimes we as the creators may shoot in the wrong white balance, or we may have it in auto white balance and it doesn't get it correct. You know, you try to drop that preset and it just looks whack. It looks too orange. It looks too blue. It looks wrong. I'm going to show you basically how you can take a wrong white balance, take any of the presets, any presets that you may have already, and tweak them to fit the photo and make them look right. Oh yeah, little tip. If you want it to look like the example photo, then you probably want to stick with the lighting scenario that photo was shot in. So if you see a nice preset that's on a sunset photo, then you might want to only use it on photos that are sunset. If you see something that looks really grayed out, like it was a cloudy gray day, you might want to only use that preset on a cloudy gray day type of photo. You can't take a sunny picture and use a gray day Lightroom preset and apply it to it and expect it to be exactly how the example photo is. But sometimes in some cases, you can tweak it and make it look right and make it, you know, fit that photo. You may be able to play around with it and get it right. So that's what we're gonna do, man. Come on, let's go. Okay, so there's a ton of photos in here. Here's one that I've already applied a preset to. I've applied my CR preset, which is my personal look that I've been building for years. That's also available down in the description if you want to check that out. I'm not trying to sell y'all a bunch of stuff. I really just want to show y'all that it's able to be tweaked, but check this out. If I take that temperature all the way to the left, look at that. That looks horrible, right? So if you double click on that slider, it goes to auto, and look at that. Way too blue, it's way too desaturated. It doesn't even work. So if you were to drop my preset right on this right now, just like that, it's wrong. That's not how I would put it out because it's wrong. So sometimes when you drop that preset on, you have to play with the temperature. So let's take it up to the warmer side. We're still getting that desaturated look around the photo, but as you can see on the skin tones, it's coming back to life. It looks more so what I would do, something that I would put out. If you double click and auto it, it's completely wrong. That's just me dropping it on there and boom, it's messed up. So you would have to tweak this warmth on the temperature to get it back to where you want to get it. And I would personally say about right there. I think that looks really good. And that's with my CR preset. Again, it's down below. I'm not going to say it anymore. Let's close the user presets, and we have the CR mirrorless Lightroom presets that I just dropped right here open. Let me show you. So let's go through them and see how it looks. Now look at that one, street bokeh. This was designed on a lower light, bokeh'd out photo. So obviously it's gonna be wrong. It's daylight, it's completely wrong temperature, so forth. If you move down, black pine, this was more so in like the forest on the greens and making like greens really vibey. Blue vintage, that actually works. So let's just tap in on that and double click to get the auto temperature. And I actually think it looks good right there. So I'm gonna tweak it just a little bit. And then obviously we would do this. We would bring down the exposure. You wanna get the exposure right. Then it definitely has like a film look to it. So come down here, let's bring that vignette back, add a little more vignette. And honestly, I mean, if that's the style and the look you're going for, that looks pretty cool. It has a vintage vibe to it, a bluish vintage vibe. And it's okay to come back to saturation and maybe boost up your oranges to get your skin tone back. Maybe boost up your yellows to bring the, you can see the greens in the tree and the yellow back there coming back. Maybe you want to boost the reds up a little bit for the skin tones, and maybe come to luminance and bring your reds down. So it makes, bring the orange down. So it makes the oranges in the photo darker. And I mean, that looks cool. That's tight. So Chattanooga, one of my favorites. I'm not just saying this because I want you to go get this. I made this preset and I didn't have intentions on putting it out, but I just put it into this pack because it fit the theme. It was on a mirrorless camera. I designed it on the R5. Let's just look at it on the 1DX. Let me show you. Let me tweak this photo with it. I know it's gonna come out dope. So if you auto correct the temperature, it looks complete poop. It looks terrible, right? So first off, let's bring the exposure down. Let's bring this up a little bit, the shadows. Bring the highlights down. Maybe pop the whites, and let's bring the blacks down. I like my blacks down. I like to crush them and make them real dark. So it looks terrible. It looks totally wrong. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the temperature up, and boom, it brings it right back to life. Woo! Yo, from that to that. And we started here. From that. Undo, perfect. It looks so good. So let's bring up the whites some, make those whites pop off. Let's see, we're gonna add some vignette just to make that centerpiece pop out. This part right here more. You know, you can make that background like that. Playing around. This Chattanooga preset is probably one of my favorites other than my own CR preset. The Chattanooga preset, it works on a lot of cool stuff. All right, let me take a quick break so I can let you know about this hoodie that I'm rocking right here and the tees that I wear all the time. This video is sponsored by Cuts. They are hands down the best men's tees and hoodies I've ever owned as an adult. No, seriously, when I was a kid or when I was a teen, I used to buy tall tees all the time from like Foot Locker or like Foot Action because I was just into that, the baggy clothes, or I would get tees from like Walmart, like the basic tees. And after the rewash, matter of fact, I don't even think that I washed them. I think that after one wear, I just trashed them because if you rewash them, they would get so wrinkly and shrunken. They would be just, you couldn't use them. You couldn't wear them. Like this hoodie right here, Cuts quality is undefeated. I literally tossed all my other t-shirts and hoodies that didn't hold any sentimental value to me away just for Cuts. Now I rock all Cuts. And I'm not just saying this because this video is sponsored. I'm not just saying this because I'm a YouTuber and a lot of YouTubers wear Cuts. I actually am very picky with fashion fashion and the way that, you know, cloth feels on my skin. And the way that this actually feels on my skin, I love it. I wear cuts every day. They also have joggers, and I'm very particular with joggers. They fit really good and they work for any occasion, whether you're just going out to hang out, you're hanging in the crib, even if you're doing sports, shooting some hoops or riding a bike, they work. But that's it. That's just the honest truth. If you want to rock cuts like me, I'm giving you 15% off using the link down below, or you can go to the store and you can use the code Creative Ryan at checkout to get 15% off. I highly recommend checking out cuts. Click the link down below. I am reading this off of the screen because my hyper mind will forget it. I had to write it down, so don't judge me. Don't do it. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back to editing. So let's see what we got. We got a bunch of photos in here from LA that I have to actually edit and put out on my Instagram because I want to make a post about them. But let's see if we can find another photo. Oh yeah, these photos back here are pretty solid. So we already got a preset on here. I can't remember which one I used, but I used one out of the mirrorless pack already and then just started tweaking it and went from that to that. And I think those look super, super good right there. Off, on. That one could use a little exposure tweak, maybe some, drop it down a little bit. Yeah, just like that. That looks good. This picture kind of looks cool. It's kind of like sunset, but blown out sky. Let's do the profile corrector. Bring in the vignette back in. Let's add some vignette. And let's see. Two blue, obviously, street bokeh. Black pine kind of looks cool. We could tweak it. Blue vintage looks crazy right here. That looks so good. Chattanooga once again. Let me see. Let me just see if I can do this real quick. Double tap to get the auto. And we warm it up a little bit. We bring up these shadows. Bring down the highlights. Let's bring down the exposure so we can get a little bit of the sky back. Bring up those shadows, bring down the blacks to make them pop. And let's look at it on a white background. That looks good. That's just the Chattanooga working its magic again. Develop the film. Develop the film is like a film look, right? And I think it looks good, actually, right here. There's it shot on the 1DX Mark II. And there it is, film with the develop the film. This is kind of like I tried to make like a filmy type of look, you know, that greenish, kind of warmish look with grain and really flat, dynamic look. I think it looks really good, to be honest. That's, I don't know, bro. That's dope. All right, let's reset it. Obviously, red beam doesn't work on there. It's very blue, so but you could make it work with some tweaks. Rustic City. Self-love is a nice one as well. The Moody Office, I made this in the office, but it actually doesn't look bad right here, and I bet you we could tweak it. Yeah, simple tweaks, and it looks good. So if you see, all I'm doing is messing around with the exposure, changing the highlights, changing the shadows, bringing up the whites, bringing up the blacks, and sometimes it's just all about your eyeball. It's not about what's right, what's correct, what needs to be done, and what doesn't need to be done. If you want to crush your blacks, do it. If you want to blow your highlights out, let's see, do it, because maybe you like it like that. Maybe you like the sky blown out like that. So it's okay to be you and do whatever you want with your style. Basically, you change your temperature up. Sometimes you might want to change your tint. You know, you can change the dynamic of the photo with tint. Like right there, I just took the greens down a lot and I like the way it looks. If I double click on the tint slider right now and take it back, that's what it looked like before. Undo, and that's what it looks like now. And it has another stylistic look to it. It just pops off. It looks cool. It has a vibe to it. So here's the last picture. This is my boy Story. He's an incredibly talented artist that we got to work with out in LA. But here he is in this lighting scenario where he's kind of being key lit by this blue, and there's some kicker lights on both sides of him coming from behind that are kind of like giving a pinkish orangish tone or look. And we're just going to scroll through the presets and see what happens. No, it's not bad. It just kind of pops everything. Blue vintage again goes crazy. Oh, for the win. This completely transforms this photo. I love the way that just made that look. So honestly, it doesn't need anything. I'm going to bring some vignette back into it. I'm going to level it out so it goes straight. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Oops. I'll go ahead and do it myself. Judging this line right here. And that looks about right. Off, on. That looks crazy. I'm hyping myself up. I'm sorry. Don't take it like that. Chattanooga, terrible. No, we're not going to use that one. Hazard Yellows kind of has a cool vibe to it. It's kind of cool and kind of like monochromatic. It's kind of dope. Mute all is fire. I'm a big believer in if the colors aren't working and you can't do anything with them, make it black and white instantly. I will make a photo black and white if it's too green or if it's too much sunset or too bright of orange colors on my skin. If colors are just ugly in a photo, I am a firm believer of going straight to the black and white preset. And this actually looks really vibey on this photo. So let's bring up the shadows just a little bit more. Bring down the highlight. No, we're good. Maybe we could bring down the clarity a little bit. And honestly, let's look at it on all white. That could go just like that. And we didn't even do much. We just clicked the preset and push the black so we can view it on black. Looks very good. So let's reset this real quick and let's make this dark gray. I like editing on dark gray. Red beam is not bad. So on, off, on. Basically, it pops the colors that are in it. It works really good with these colors. And sometimes that's just lucky. Sometimes the colors will pop perfect. Sometimes they will be completely off with a photo. But this particular one works great with this photo. Rustic City, totally different vibe. It changes the colors up, but it kind of looks cool. It has a very strong orange and teal look. And if that's the style that you like, because we're all different, we're all creative, and we're all unique, we may like this type of look for everything, then that would be cool. So basically you would come down to the HSL and you would change these blues back to normal. So then you could come down here where these calibrations are, and I think that's what's popping these off very strong. And you just double click them to reset them all back to where they were. And now you have your photo back. And if you want to go back to where we were with it, you can just bring those sliders back up. And then you could have it similar again, or you could bring your blues back down, kind of match it. It's a little bit too contrasty popping, so we can bring the contrast back down, shadows down, bring those blacks up. Now it's really soft look. We're tweaking again from scratch, and we're just taking this preset and morphing it. We do that. Let's frame that up. Come down here. Let's just say we want to add a bunch of grain just to give it a vibe, right? Now we basically took a preset that didn't even work at first, and we changed it up, just playing with a few color sliders in the calibration and then the HSL, and then adding some green and fixing the crop. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Which one was it? I can't remember. Oh, Blue Vintage. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one right there, man. I love the way that looks. So hopefully this video helped you. I wanted to make a quick video kind of just showing you, obviously my new presets. Yes, I had to do it because they're good. If you don't think so, hey. But not only that, I wanted to show you basically that you can use any preset, whether it's mine or somebody else's out there. You can apply it to a photo, even if it doesn't work, but you like something about it. Maybe it's really grainy and you like the exposure, but you want to change the color. You can do that. Or vice versa. Maybe you like the colors and you need to change the exposure to make it look right. You can do that. Or sometimes you might hit it on the head, click one time, and it might just be a banger, just like this one. Reset, Blue Vintage, and that's a banger, just like that. I'm not gonna take up no more y'all's time because I have to get to this vlog. I need to edit this vlog right here, and I have to edit a few more other vlogs that have recently been in the works. And let's get caught up here on this YouTube channel. Consider subscribing because we do tutorials, we do vlogs, we do real life cool stuff. It's a very genuine channel. We don't play here. We have fun, we create, and there's a loud car going down my street and you can hear it. So that also happens here on the channel as well. Slap the like button if it did help you. Definitely slap the like button. And if you have any questions at all about these Lightroom presets, or any questions about what I did here on some of the photos, or any type of question at all, drop it in the comments and I will definitely make sure I make some time to get down in those comments and reply. So that's it. I'm done talking. Peace. I will see you in the next video. Ha.